Sports Entertained is recorded live at twitch.tv/baldyandthebeast. Come check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and watch the matches right along with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bront.
I'm Willem.
And we are Baldy and the Beast. Welcome back to another week of the Sports Entertained podcast.
Yes.
What are we doing today, Willem?
We are watching AJ Styles versus John Cena from Money in the Bank 2016, the start of the AJ Styles-John Cena trilogy.
I'm excited because I remember this as being very good.
The matches, I remember the SummerSlam match was very good. I remember the Royal Rumble match was very good. I do not remember this match at all. And then I saw some screenshots of it and realized this is where the club debuted.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, it's where they came in.
Yeah. So this happened in the T-Mobile Arena. They build it as Las Vegas, Nevada. Technically, it's Paradise, but
yeah,
you know,
same thing.
Same as how they build the last WrestleMania as being from New York City,
right?
Even though it definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
The attendance, people in attendance were 14,150. So what set all this up was on May 30th. Raw. John Cena returned. He was out for 5 months with a shoulder injury. Out comes AJ to welcome back John, because at the time he was face.
Yep.
Gallows and Anderson come out, and because AJ, I think something happened between AJ and the club the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ and Cena prepare for a brawl against the club in the ring until AJ turns on Cena, joins Gallows and Anderson to beat up John Cena.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Then later in the week, the match was announced for Money in the Bank, and they billed it immediately as a WrestleMania Dream match.
Oh.
So, I mean, if that's what they thought about it, why didn't they save it for WrestleMania?
Right.
But whatever.
Right.
Well, then on the go home, Cena came out to the ring. He had 2 contracts. One, the club could be at ringside, and the other, the club was banned from ringside. AJ got to choose. AJ chose the contract that banned the club from ringside.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we lead into the first match at Money in the Bank.
Gotcha. I remember this was round about the time that I started like coming back to watching wrestling, because there was like a 5-year period that I just stopped altogether and didn't really pay attention to it, and it was around this time like I remember like watching Walt Culture's countdowns and watching some stuff from Adam Bompier and stuff like that, and that kind of brought me back into it. So this was one of the my wife just came home. That was one of the first pay-per-views that I remember seeing, and I didn't really understand the a lot of the storylines that were going on at the time.
Yeah, I came back a little before this, but I very clearly remember this pay-per-view, or this trilogy, I mean, because it was way better than you would expect from these two guys.
Right.
Well, not these two guys. They're both very, very good in the ring, but the matches they put on were top quality anywhere in the world. So, right. But let's get into the card. Hot opener, they had a WWE Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. They had the New Day in there. They retained because it was, 2016.
Right.
Baron Corbin fought Ziggler in what I'm sure was a bog standard match.
I think
Charlotte and Dane. Oh, go ahead.
I think this was probably pretty soon after Baron Corbin came up to Maine, because he still, for a while he still had hair, but this is also when he was still being shirtless Baron Corbin, where he had a face on his tummy.
Yeah, there's another old what culture to call out.
Yeah.
Deep cut there.
A little deep cut on that one.
Next match, Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Becky Lynch and Natalya.
Oh.
WWE very specifically wants you to know they are not tag teams, because they both have like a line in between the women.
Yeah.
They happen to be teaming, but WWE wants you to know they're not a team. Dean Ambrose cuts a promo, which leads into a match with Sheamus and Apollo Crews. I forgot Apollo got called up that early, and he's been on the main roster for this long. But...
Oh, yeah. Like, he got called up in, like, 8 months in NXT, something like that. Way too soon before he even, like, learned how to talk very well, or at least learned how to talk in the WWE style.
Yeah, way too early he was called up. I can't agree anymore. Because I think if they had waited a year or two on him, he'd be a way bigger star than he is right now.
Oh yeah.
But that's okay because it looks like they're doing something with him at least for right now.
For right now.
And next up on the card, we get what we all came to see: AJ Styles versus John Cena. Follow that, we have the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes.
Rusev getting a late spot here versus Titus O'Neil for the United States title.
Oh. Oh,
and
is this the pay-per-view where Titus O'Neil kissed his son on the lips?
It might be, because one of the tags on here is Rusev's mean-spirited Father's Day message.
Yeah.
So, potentially.
And this is long-haired Rusev.
Yeah. Hashtag Titus O'Neil kissed his son on the lips.
Yeah.
And then we're calling out everybody today.
Yeah, I know, right?
But for real, though, if anybody doesn't watch Quizzlemania and you're watching this, it's very good.
Top notch.
Next up, we have Roman Reigns versus Seth for the world title. And you might remember this match for being when Dean Ambrose came out because he had just won the Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Came out at the end, won the title. And that's how he was champion going into the start of SmackDown.
Yep. And that was that led into the Shield triple threat, I believe, at Battleground, which was which would have been the next pay-per-view.
Yes, Battleground was the next pay-per-view.
And that was a very hyped up match because whoever won, like obviously whoever won would be taking the title somewhere. But if Dean didn't win, then that means that they would have had to either way they were going to debut the Universal title before SummerSlam. But Dean having the title would have meant that the WWE title was going to be on SmackDown. But if he didn't have it, then there would be no title on SmackDown.
Yeah. We could have gotten the Blue Universal title a little earlier.
Yeah, I know, because we have it now.
So, I couldn't segue from that one. Yeah. You ready to get into the match, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so it looks like we start at 1:21:51 today.
Yep.
There is, like normal, a tag. I'll give everybody a little bit of time to get into place here.
Yep. Give you about 10 seconds to go ahead and pull it up on the network. Pull up your tag. We can go ahead and get started. Oh.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
All right, Willem. So how many Willems do you give that out of 5?
I'm going to give that a solid 4 out of 5 Willems. It was a very good match, very well wrestled. I understand that the reason that they don't do solid finishes to a lot of these matches is simply because they need to progress the storyline. And even though this is Money in the Bank, this is technically considered a B pay-per-view, at least at this time. It's not really where storylines end, so this is where the storyline began. So they had to do something to extend it out. So they couldn't bring everything out for the match, and they had to find some cheap way to make it so that there was some way that they could progress into the next match in the series. So because of that, I'm going to give it a good 4 out of 5. Very happy with it. Very well wrestled. Had some great spots. Had some great moments. Would watch again. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I was thinking right about 4 stars. I think we normally give the same score. Mm-hmm. but I guess we have just similar tastes. But no, I was thinking right about 4 bronze. I said stars. 4 bronze out of 5. It was really good. It does get better though from here. And these two guys, I'm not the biggest fan of the finish, but like you said, I understand why they did it.
Right.
So, what are you gonna do? But overall, I thought it was really good, and I'm excited for next Thursday's episode to see the SummerSlam one because I remember that one very clearly being a very good match.
Mm-hmm. I remember specifically not just that one, but I remember the Royal Rumble one match. That one was. I saw the SummerSlam one, and I remember the Rumble one being probably my favorite of the 3. because I barely remember this one that we just watched. Um, but because I remember there were some spots in the Rumble match that were very clearly Cena was just like trying to go Super Saiyan for a second because he was just like he's like and like turning pink.
He loves that phase.
Yeah, I know.
Or that face. He loves it.
Yeah, but yeah, um, this was a great start to a 3-part trilogy. This was also where really this whole feud was where they brought the club in because they debuted not too long before this. Um, and this is the start of like the beat up John Cena whole thing. Um, that kind of led through their entire feud.
Yeah, which I love.
Yes.
I'm gonna reference that as much as I can this whole time.
Yep.
Beat up John Cena. And it was perfect because it's every mark in the entire world is going to get behind that.
Yep.
Especially after the years of Super Cena that we lived through.
Yes. All right. Well, did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss with this match? Anything that you noticed? Anything that kind of stood out to you that you want to kind of bring up here?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier with their finishing moves, how I would have booked it personally. I still liked how they each hit it and they each kicked out at 2.
Yep.
Because nobody's move won this match, which is a nice like segue into well, we have to fight again to see whose move is the movier
Mm-hmm.
move. So,
Whose finish is
uh,
the finishest finish?
yeah. So I liked that. Overall, these guys they put on a great match. You can tell
Yes.
they wanted it to be the best match on the night.
Yep.
And but there was some, it's Money in the Bank, so that's a high bar to set.
Yeah. You could very much tell that they were both into this match. They both really wanted this to go somewhere, and they both really wanted to make this feud into a big thing that was going to last a while.
Yeah, disappointed it never made it to Mania.
Yeah.
Um, but I think they started it just a little earlier than a
Yeah.
little too early to make it to Mania.
Right. Well, because it ended at the Rumble. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there when we get to that match.
Yeah.
We can talk about it then. But yeah, do you have anything else that you wanted to discuss today, there, Brock?
Um, Not about the match. If you do have anything to say about the match?
No, I think I said my piece on this one.
Okay, I do want to mention on the card, I was looking through, I was a little disappointed. The Dudley Boys are actually on this card. They were on a pre-show match.
Oh.
They misused those. I understand they were at the end of their career.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Dudley Boys mark though. I felt like they were misused.
Oh yeah, like 100%.
I felt, yeah, 2016 Dudley Boys could still like put on a good match.
Yep.
And I still bought I bought the T-shirt. That's how big of a mark I am for the Dudley Boys. I'm like the one person that bought that T-shirt when they came back.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. That kind of disappoints me. But this is also the same night that Dean Ambrose wins Money in the Bank, cashes in to win the title.
Right.
So
wins it, cashes in the same night, like one match later. Not even.
Yep.
Doesn't even go that long. Isn't
I think
so?
it was like 40 minutes.
If I remember right, this was the show where every member of the Shield held the title in the same night, because it came in. Roman came in with the title, Seth beat him, and then Dean beat him after that.
Yep.
So every member of the Shield held the title on this one night.
Which is cool booking.
Yeah, that's a very neat way to tell the story of the Shield, like how they all kind of got one up on each other and they had to lead into the next pay-per-view with that. Into the Shield triple threat.
Especially for the time when it was right around the draft and before the draft, and there was a lot of uncertainty of who's going to end up where.
Yep.
Good uncertainty.
Yep.
But, yeah, this is a cool way to kind of be like they're all on equal footing.
Right.
So I liked that then, and I still like it now.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything else? Any comments at all?
About the show? No. I think Like I said, I think I've said my piece on the match. I think I've said my piece on the card. Like I said, this was round about the time that I just like started getting back into wrestling, so there were a lot of stuff here that I didn't really follow too closely. I knew because I didn't know who Dean Ambrose was. Like even going into this, the only thing that I knew going into this show was that like Roman Reigns was the top guy and everybody hated him for it. That's the only thing that I knew going into this.
And you weren't wrong.
Yep. But yeah, that's them's my thinks on this particular episode, on this particular match.
All right. Well, let's move on to the wider world of professional wrestling.
Yes.
On Saturday, we will be covering the AEW pay-per-view. I'm
Yes.
stoked. The last night's episode was good. I mean, it was rough at points, but God, does that company know how to book a finish of a show?
Yep. Had a couple
consistently.
Had a couple rough moments. The whole thing with the Casino Battle Royal, I'm not super sold on. There's so many guys that are in the Battle Royal that should just be in their own feuds. And I feel like throwing them all into the Battle Royal just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I am very excited for the Jon Moxley versus MJF match. That's going to be a fucking banger.
I went into last night thinking there's no way MJF can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I left thinking MJF might just win. And that's the same thing I did the last pay-per-view.
Yep.
Because AEW knows how to do that.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but they know how to make a guy credible.
Right. However, the math, the traditional wrestling math says otherwise, because MJF stood tall at the end of the night.
But that's WWE math. This is AEW. They do algebra over there.
I honestly don't know of any cases from AEW though where they went against the math though.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are cases of it. I just haven't been paying too close attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it as much as a trope.
Yeah.
But they generally don't, like WWE, have matches on the go home show beforehand against the guy you're fighting.
Right.
So you might get a one up on a guy, but because he's already been beat down from a match and you're not, and I don't think that's the same as it is in WWE, if that makes sense. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Are we gonna watch the buy-in, the pre-show for the show?
Oh yeah, for sure. I am at least. Britt Baker and Big Swole are on there.
Oh yeah. Sold. And I think the Casino Battle Royal is going to be on that too.
Oh, is it?
I think it is. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm watching it for the. I don't care whether. I don't mean that in a negative way, but I'm gonna watch it because of the Britt Baker, Big Swole, dentist, tooth and nail, whatever they want to call it. Because that's gonna be a cinematic match. That's gonna be awesome. Mark in me really, really hopes that hidden very well, like under a fake mustache and a hat or something, in the room is Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be great. Like,
go ahead. All I was gonna say is just let's just hope this pre-show is at least 10% more entertaining than the last pre-show that we watched. Because goddamn, the pre-show to Payback, I almost fell asleep.
Like, it was. I don't think it's possible that AEW's pre-show could be worse than that.
Right.
Not with what they have booked on there. Like, those two matches, if those are the two matches that are on the pre-show, would have to take a big steaming shit to be anywhere close to what Payback was.
Right.
It was truly awful. The pre-show, mind you. Not the whole show on its own was fine, but the pre-show was bad.
Yeah. But yeah. We're going to be doing that this Saturday. Stream will start at 7 o'clock because that's when the buy-in starts. We're going to be watching the whole thing. But because there is nothing on Sunday this week and because we're watching this on Saturday, we will not be doing a Sunday night stream. Just because we're kind of getting that slot in for Saturday. Um, and then this coming Tuesday, Bront is going to have to be doing a solo stream because I'm going to be going out of town and I have to show him how to use OBS at some point between now and Tuesday.
I was thinking Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, we can do that. But we'll figure that out then. Until then, thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We've had, again, more people showing up on the audio podcast. We've had more people watching. We've actually had more people watching on YouTube in the last few days, and I really appreciate that. Thank you everybody for all the likes, all the positive comments, for coming out, for hanging out with us, watching these matches with us. We always appreciate it. You have anything else to say, Bront?
Yeah, I feel like I always say this, but every content creator always says this. Please check out our Facebook. We have Facebook, Twitter, you know, like Willem said, the YouTube, all that fun stuff. Everything you guys do really does help us
Yes.
to continue taking the steps that we want to take.
Yep.
And with that, I think that we'll bid you all adieu. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day whenever you're watching this.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
We will see you guys on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.